So hello everybody, and you're very welcome here to PCI College and to this brief interview with one of our former graduates on the BSc in Counselling and Psychotherapy. My name is Colm Early and I'm the Year 2 head, and I'm also the coordinator of group supervision in the college, and I've been a lecturer for the past 16 years. Today, I'm delighted to introduce Judith O'Donnell, our graduate, a PCI student, who has completed the BSc degree in counselling and psychotherapy. Judith, you're very welcome today, and thank you for giving your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Colm.
Judith is going to share with us some of her own experience as a past student of the BSc programme. And you might find it helpful to hear from one of our graduates about her experience on the BSc. So Judith, after doing the BSc Honours course in Counselling and Psychotherapy, can you share with us how this degree has shaped and helped you in your career as a counsellor?
Well, the course has really shaped me, not just professionally, but also personally. The skills, I work now as a psychotherapist, the core skills that I developed on the course really helped my work. But I think more importantly, personally, how I've developed the work that we did on the course, the personal work, the personal self-exploration work has really helped me to be a good enough counsellor. So although the theoretical skills are so important, I feel the person that I am now and continue to grow as has really helped me. And I feel this work was really encouraged on the course through our experiential work and through our group class work. So that for me is how it's shaped me.
It's interesting to hear you use the words of Winnicott and the good enough therapist. Could you tell us a little bit about what you were looking for in the degree when you applied for it? What were you seeking in the degree?
Sorry, Colm. What I was looking for in the degree, for me, when I did the CERT course, what I really enjoyed was the personal work, the self-exploration work. So initially in the degree, what I was looking for was that self-development. I didn't know I would be able to become a counsellor or be able to do the work of counselling. So for me, it was self-development. That's what I was looking for when I did the course.
Thank you. We have a partnership, as you know, with Middlesex University, and we follow their academic standards. We support the students throughout the academic year to help them to achieve those standards. From your point of view, Judith, did you feel supported by the college? And if you did, how were you supported by the college through your degree?
Yeah, I always felt supported by the college through the lecturers and through the year heads. So initially in year one, I would have struggled very much with the essay writing. I felt the lecturers were very supportive of that. There was great workshops and there was a lot of support on the student portal. So I really felt in year one, they really, really guided us through the, initial struggles that we had. And throughout year 2 and 3 and 4, with different kind of struggles that we would have had with client work and that, I really felt supported, not only by the lecturers, but also by our year head. And they addressed any issues that we did come, with any kind of struggles that we did and supported us. So yes, I felt, and I think our class felt very supported throughout the 4 years.
Yes, thanks, Judith. Taking on this professional training and trying to balance work and life, I mean, how did you feel about going back to study?
I loved going back to study. I loved learning, struggled, as I said, with the essay writing, but loved the classwork. I loved the group. I loved the learning that the lecturers were able to give us. So initially, definitely loved going back to studying. I did have my struggles. We worked well as a class. Some people were very good at essay writing. So I think we supported each other. We definitely voiced our struggles and challenges to the lecturers. I think they helped us as much as they could with workshops, and there is great support online as well through the student portal. So I really enjoyed it. It was when I wasn't working the first year, the second and third year I was working. So that was definitely more challenging. And I know most people in the class were, had full-time jobs. So it was very, very challenging to do a degree course and work. But I think we were able to voice those challenges and stressors, and we were able to support one another. Yeah. But it was challenging. Yeah.
Of course, and this professional degree is challenging. That's the very nature of third level education. And can I ask what skills, Judith, did you acquire during the course? And how are you putting those skills into practice in your own current work?
Well, the skills, I suppose the basic skills are the core conditions. So what I can offer the client, and offering myself, again, that self-exploration and being able to use the core conditions of empathy, being present, being genuine, being authentic, being really there for the client. Definitely they were embedded in us for the first couple of years. And the theoretical framework as well. Very, very important and crucial to the work. But I think for me, definitely, if I look back over the 4 years, it was the internal work, that self-exploration work, that allowed me to be the person that could counsel someone else. So I find that was the most important. Everything else is essential. But to really, I think you have to do that self-exploration work yourself before you can offer and be the facilitator for clients. So for me, that was the most important thing that I carried through from the course.
Yes, thank you, Judith. As you know, with PCI College, you start working in year 2 with clients, and we have a department to help find clients and placements for our students. How was this experience for you to start seeing clients while being a student, Judith? How did you find that experience?
A real struggle, I have to say. Year 1 was all about us. We were doing self-exploration. And then when we started year 2, it was, I have to say, we were all, I think, in shock that we had to counsel people. So initially it was very daunting, and I really, really struggled with it. But for me, the client work is where my greatest growth and development has been. Client work, group supervision, and my own individual supervision. It's where I've grown. So I think you kind of feel you're put into the deep end. Year 2, we're only in year 2. But it's been my greatest learning and my greatest challenges, but where my greatest growth has been. So, initially very daunting, but yeah, there's been a great development in it.
Of course. Yeah, and it's great to hear you talk about the important area of client work, because that's where the real learning happens.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
The real cold face of all of our learning as therapists.
Yeah.
When you look back, if you just put your mind back, looking over the years of doing your course, when you look back and reflect on the journey as a PCI student, what stayed with you the most?
I suppose our class, we were a small class, there was only 12 of us. Trust was developed very early on. It was a lovely, lovely class. We supported one another. I still do peer supervision with 2 of the girls from my class, and we're a great support for one another even now. So that really stays with me, and the personal journey and professional journey we went on those 4 years. Each one of us had different struggles over the 4 years, so we were able to maybe support one another in that. But also the lectures. The quality of the lectures, I have to say, not just the academic qualities, but the personal, professional qualities and the willingness to share their experience, both professionally and personally. Yeah, I have to say that has stayed with me, and I've continued to do courses with PCI, and I'm in awe of the years of experience and the qualifications of the lecturers. So yes, that's what stays with me when I think of PCI in my journey.
And one of the questions, that students have is, I finished my degree, now what?
Yes.
In terms of your experience, can you give us some ideas of how you managed to set up your own clinical practice, finding clients and forging your own way in the field of counselling and psychotherapy in Ireland?
I think it's a real struggle, Colm. If after 4 years then deciding, okay, what's next? And I know as a class, we all struggled with that. I would suggest, for students that are taking on this course, maybe to be thinking year 2. So once you start the client work, how would I like to proceed with this? It's very difficult to get paid work, before you've done your 450 hours. So I know definitely in year 2, I was thinking, how can I did 3 years of voluntary work, but how can I forge a practice for myself? So I would suggest talking to your supervisors, maybe year heads of ways to go. I was very fortunate that 2 of my supervisors were in a practice, and I was able to talk to them in year 2. And I was lucky enough a year and a half ago to get into that practice. So I think it's important to be thinking of what way, you want to proceed with your career, maybe in year 2. Early on, that when you finish your degree, it's you've already got maybe the balls in motion, rather than so maybe be thinking before you finish your degree, what's next for me?
Yes.
And putting those plans maybe in place.
What's next for you?
Yes, yeah. So I definitely was thinking of it year 2.
In year 2. So begin that as soon as you feel ready, as soon as you work through some issues maybe yourself as well.
Yeah. And just even be thinking about it. How would I like to proceed in this? And, I definitely talking to my supervisors really helped. And seeing what is out there and what would maybe suit your personality, what kind of areas you'd like to explore. So that really helped me talking to supervisors and year heads about how I could proceed in a career in counselling.
Yes. And it also seems that you were networking very early on in your course in terms of information gathering, good peripheral vision, what's happening in your area, what's happening in therapy in your particular area.
Yes, definitely. I think that's important. Just being mindful of what's out there. You mightn't, have a set plan, but kind of just seeing what's out there and what might suit you and what you feel most comfortable with. Even in the voluntary side, that's so important. The voluntary work is so important to get the experience and see if you like the work. So that definitely is what helped me.
So your 3 years of voluntary work was very interesting, that you were really working in the very real issues for people in the community.
Absolutely. And I loved it. I still miss that. I'm a year and a half in private practice. I've such fond memories. I was low cost counselling in Tala. And I had great networking of counsellors and great work. Really, really enjoyed it. Private practice brings a different dimension. And I love the work of counselling, but really enjoy the voluntary work.
Yes. And can I ask you finally, Judith, what advice would you give to those viewing this video clip, those who wish to work as a counsellor, as a psychotherapist, but are kind of not sure of how to start? What advice would you give to them?
Yeah, I think for me, I did the certificate course, and I struggled with trying to make that decision whether to go on and do the degree course for many reasons, timing, financial, and so forth. And I suppose I couldn't make the decision that I would. At the time, I didn't know whether I would be able to do the work of counselling, so I did the degree course for myself. And I was able to make that decision 100% for my own self-development, my love of self-exploration, and that love of self-exploration ignited my love of counselling. So I was able to bring that love and facilitate clients. So that definitely, I did the degree course for myself, and then my love of my own work has followed through with my love of counselling.
Yes. Thank you, Judith. And I really appreciate those very generous words about your own journey and your own journey in growth and development and awareness. And thank you, of course, for your comments. Thank you also for your time today. And hopefully people viewing this particular taster about the BSc will help people, find that own inner strength.
Yes.
And be encouraged to go that extra mile and to develop themselves in an attempt to obviously develop other people. And thank you, Judith, for today. I appreciate your time. I appreciate what you've shared. And I wish you the very best of luck in the rest of your professional career as a counsellor and psychotherapist. So thank you very much, Judith.
Thank you, Colm. My pleasure.
Thank you.